Hello, everybody. Happy Victory Tuesday, a rare Victory Tuesday, although the Seahawks are very good on Monday Night Football historically, so maybe it's not that rare. And we are going to be bumping everything back by one day this week because we have no game coming up on this upcoming week, so therefore it should be pretty easy for us to just slide everything back by about 24 hours and not have any scheduling conflicts and not cross any wires or anything like that. So, we are going to be doing our snap count Monday on a Tuesday this week, and everything else just gets pushed back by a day. So, yesterday was a little bit of a weird game here for the snap counts because we had a defensive touchdown and we had a two-play 7-yard touchdown drive. When those things happen, you're going to have a little bit of a weird result in terms of how much your teams are playing. Your defense is going to be playing way more than your offense because your defense is almost not letting your offense onto the field because they're either scoring or setting up a trivial score for you. So, with that being said, there was imbalance this week, but it was one of those things where the imbalance is kind of created by your defense being so dominant and making life so easy for your offense. So I don't know if I can really trip on this one, is what I'm trying to say here. Offensively, we had 55 snaps, which is pretty close to the season low. Only a few more snaps than we had in week one against the Rams in that disastrous game. But that's mainly the result of the defensive dominance. There is a little something to be said for the continued struggles on third down. I think we were 25% yesterday. That's the one area where, yeah, you could get a little bit better, but at the end of the day, I understand the main reason why this happened. So, running backs, let's start there. This was more in line with what I'm expecting most of the games this year, and I know that disappoints some people, but K9 gets a massive bulk of the carries, 39, and Charbonnet is bringing up a distant second with 13. And then DJ Dallas gets whatever left over with 4. This is kind of what I expect in most games this year, which I know some people are going to say, oh, we should balance it out more with Charbonnet, but it's clear this team believes that Ken Walker's our best running back, and he is, and they want him on the field as much as possible, which, hey, I can't really, I don't mind that either. It's not like we're putting too big of a workload on Walker right now with 39 snaps in a game. All right. So that's your running backs. Wide receiver, also pretty good spread here. No wide receiver had more than 40 snaps. So not only did we not have that many offensive snaps, but no receiver was being used a ton. This is still, I think, an effect of us not having our offensive tackles. And as this game went on, we didn't even have our guards. We technically didn't really have our center. So things are just a little bit discombobulated on that side of the ball, which is why I'm not that upset about the lack of production on offense last night. The main thing I was upset about from last night was the sloppiness in that first quarter, but the lack of production, I get it, right? You've got your entire second string in at offensive line. The Giants had most of their second string in on the offensive line, and look how awful they were. Like, think about how bad it can be. So the fact that our offense was just a little bit sluggish because of the entire second string offensive line being in. Look at, ooh, excuse me, ooh, look at how ugly it can be. But anyway, Metcalf, 39 snaps. Lockett, 38 snaps. JSN, 29 snaps. Bobo, 21 snaps. That was the spread. Nobody gets a ton of work. Everybody just kind of gets a reasonable amount of work given the situation. And Cody Thompson gets what's left over with the 6 snaps. He made his first career catch, by the way. Good for him. So continues to be kind of the spread that you would expect with the tackles missing time. And I'm interested to see how this changes when we get Cross and Lucas back in the coming weeks. Tight end, interesting stuff happening here. Noah Fant, who was maybe our best player on offense yesterday. I know it was just one play, but it was one huge play, and he had another first down catch in that game as well. 25 snaps, so less than half. Dissly, 29 snaps, so about half. Colby Parkinson, 32 snaps, more than half. So it feels like, and maybe this is just a one game thing, it feels like Colby Parkinson has actually become our tight end that we lean on, where we just go to him in kind of default because he's become such a good blocker, and him and Dissly are starting to become almost interchangeable as blockers, and Parkinson might be a better pass catcher, more dynamic. Dissly might be more reliable in that area, but Parkinson's probably more dynamic. So Parkinson's actually maybe becoming the most trustworthy all-around tight end on this team. I don't know if that's actually what's going on here. It could just be a one-game thing, but he's really come along as a blocker. And, I mean, I don't know. Sorry, guys. It's still, it's, kind of a late night last night, as you guys all well know. Still a little bit tired. But yeah, if you take a look at this, it's interesting, right? Because Fant, who is nominally the tight end one on this team, is getting the fewest snaps, and Parkinson, who came to the season nominally as tight end three, getting the most. Kind of interesting how we're shaking things up here. Okay, the offensive line, lot of messy stuff here. Damian Lewis played 17 snaps and got carted off with what sounds to be a relatively minor injury, but still, got to be careful. Evan Brown plays every snap, but he plays a lot of his snaps at left guard because of the Damian Lewis injury. Phil Haynes played 5 snaps and then pieced out. Stone Forsythe and Jake Curhan played every snap. Forsythe, by the way, I think played really good. I didn't notice him in any negative way out there. Oluwatimi had to play 38 snaps because Evan Brown had to move over. Anthony Bradford played 50 snaps because of the Phil Haynes injury. Just a lot of shuffling around, just trying to field some kind of a semi-competent offensive line. And they did. They really did. The offensive line played fine last night. Most of the problems were Jake Curhan. And at the end of the day, Curhan is a UDFA third-year player going up against Kayvon Thibodeau, who is a former top 10 pick. So what are you going to get at a certain point, right? So offensive line, they made it work. It's frustrating to have to shuffle around this much, but they found a way to make it work. Okay, so let's jump on over to the defensive side of the ball here. 75 snaps. Again, this is just a product of the game flow, I think. When you have a pick six and immediately your defense just goes right back out there. When you're playing some soft zones that allows the Giants to convert third downs and at least trickle the ball down the field, even if they're not scoring, you are going to have to deal with a decent number of defensive plays. So through 4 games, we almost have a game's worth of extra defensive snaps. So that's not great. In this game, I understand it more because the defense was so dominant. That's a big reason why that happened. But overall, this is going to wear on us. The good news is, within that, I actually really liked our rotations. Draymond Jones played 41 snaps, leading the way for the defensive linemen. Reed, 38. He would have played more if he didn't get hurt at the end, but still. Mario Edwards, 37. Cam Young, 21. Miles Adams, 22. We're thin up front, but we found a way to not overplay anybody to an extreme degree right now. Like, Draymond Jones leads the way with 41. Look at some of these previous games where he's playing 55 snaps or Jaron Reed's playing 59, and there's a big difference here, and I think it's a very welcome one. We've clearly decided that we're going to trust Cam Young and Miles Adams to play non-trivial snaps, and I think both those guys are rewarding us. They're both playing relatively well right now. Cam Young is doing his job 100%. Miles Adams made a splash play yesterday, so we've got something workable here. I would like to get another defensive lineman in here just for snap eating purposes. Sorry, guys. My God. I need to wake up. God damn. I don't drink coffee. Maybe I need to start. But, yeah. Great rotation on the defensive line, given the circumstance. Linebacker, Bobby Wagner plays 67 snaps, so he actually got to sit out a little bit of garbage time in this game. You got to love the garbage time, letting your veterans rest a little bit. Jordan Brooks got 58 snaps, so he got not He got pretty much most of the snaps as well. He continues to play really well, by the way. Devin Bush gets 10 snaps. Radigan gets 8. Drake Thomas gets 1. So we get to see a little bit of the reserves. I don't consider Devin Bush to be a reserve. I think that he is going to play at least a little bit of a role going forward. Um, I do kind of feel like Bush could do positive things if there were opportunities out there for him, but right now Brooks is playing so well, I don't really want to mess with it. So yeah, this is just going to be the way it is until Brooks shows that he shouldn't be playing full time. But yeah, he played most of this game. Edge rusher, edge rusher. I love it. I love it. Uchenna Nwosu, despite us having a lot of plays, only played 45 snaps, his fewest this season by far. And it's no coincidence, I don't think, that he went off. Now, part of the reason why he went off is he's playing a backup offensive lineman, and he's playing one of the worst offenses in the league, but he's going off because, in part, we're not overworking him. We're not overloading him. This is where we need to live for as much of this season as possible. Boye Mafe, 38 snaps. Really good number for him. Darrell Taylor had 40, which makes it all the more troubling that he didn't have really an impact in the game. The fact that he played more snaps than Mafe. But the rotation, if you're just talking about the rotation, this is really nice. Derek Hall had 27 snaps, so he played a lot. He made an impact. He got some QB hits in there. I thought he played pretty well. So look at the rotations we're using, guys. This is really nice. This is really good. If we can stay in this area the whole season, eventually we're going to play some games where the defense is only on the field for like 60 snaps. If we can keep these percentages about where they are, then I think we're cooking. So I love this. I love pretty much everything I'm seeing on the defense in terms of rotation stuff. And it feels like if we can stay here, we're good. All right, now we go on to cornerback here. Tariq Woolen plays every snap except for 2. Witherspoon plays every snap. Mike Jackson plays every snap but 12. So that was kind of how we lived in this game. And I got to tell you, this is exactly what I was hoping we would get in the offseason. Woolen and Witherspoon on the field pretty much every snap. Jackson comes in when we need the third cornerback. Now, obviously in the offseason, I thought Mike Jackson was going to be the guy. And Trey Brown has kind of emerged as the guy. When he gets back, he might take those Mike Jackson reps. But Jackson played fine yesterday, so maybe we're trending in the right direction there. I don't know. But this is exactly what I was hoping for. Lots of Witherspoon and Woolen. And then when we go to 3 cornerbacks, you don't take Witherspoon off the field or anything like that. You leave him out there in some circumstance, and then you go to another guy. In this game, it had to be Jackson because of injuries, but in other games, it could be Brown. Maybe it's Bryant. Maybe it's Burns. Whoever. Lance Boykin actually got on the field for a little bit of garbage time as well with the 2 snaps. Welcome to the Seahawks, Lance Boykin. And safety, yeah, Jamal Adams had 9 snaps, as we all know very well, before tapping out with the concussion. Quandre Diggs had 67 snaps, so he actually got to sit out a little bit as well. Julian Love did not, though. He played every snap and actually played, I think, really good. Jarek Reed played 8, so he also got in on the garbage time Love. Second week in a row, he got to play a little bit of time on defense after the game had been decided. And those are your snap counts. So that is Snap Count Monday on a Tuesday. Let me know what you think. I personally really like what we're doing defensively right now. I think this is exactly where we need to be. Now, the standard of play is a completely separate issue, and that'll be determined in coming weeks when we play offenses that aren't completely inept like the Giants. But I just mean in terms of rotations, I think we're doing some really good things here right now. All right. Catch you guys later. Go Hawks. Another video coming later. Stream, post-game stream tonight with the Hawks Nest. See you guys there. Go Hawks.